Hello and welcome everyone to another battle replay on Napoleon Total War. This time we have Thanks To Mistrzu and Virus Sultan pairing up against the AIF clan. Sultan and Mistrzu playing as the Ottomans versus AIF playing as France on my favourite map for Napoleon Total War, and potentially my favourite map of any Total War game, really, the Pyramids. I don't know why, I just really enjoy this map. I think it's just, I played a lot of battles on this when Napoleon came out. I eventually got to play the game, actually, because I wasn't able to play Napoleon at launch. But, yeah, don't know what it is about it, but it's just my favourite map. What's your favourite map? Be it on Napoleon or any other Total War game, let me know down in the comment section. We'll go through the builds of the players, and then we'll let battle commence, so feel free. There should probably be a timestamp in the description where you can skip forward to the battle, or a short annotation on screen where you can jump to the battle if you don't want to know what units are being used and who's doing what. But over here on the left we have, I believe, Thanks To Mistrzu, and over on the right we have Virus Sultan. Hopefully I've said Mistrzu right. He did send me a pronunciation video, and he's the one that's been sending me in a heck ton of battle replays for Napoleon Total War. Thank you to all of you, though, that are sending in loads of replays. These should be released every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday going forward. If for whatever reason, though, there isn't a battle replay on a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, expect it on the next day. I will endeavour to do so. Sometimes it just takes a while to find a battle replay for the day, and then obviously get it casted and what have you. But yeah, feel free to keep sending them in. If you've got an epic battle of great variation, or with a twist, or insane tactics, or just units used, or what have you, then feel free to send it in. Link is in the description. But anyway, Ottomans versus France. Heads up, I'm probably going to pronounce some of the units wrong. But let's start off here on the left with Mistrzu units. So I'm actually going to start on his right formation, because Sultan's forces are moving across already, but these are 4 units of Nizam Cadet infantry are Mistrzu's, along with 2 veteran Kemet Janissaries behind. Over on the left, though, is where he's got the majority of his force, and they're getting up onto this hill because it is rather important to claim the hill in on this map, rather. You do get quite a nice advantage. No artillery for this battle, and a maximum of 5 light infantry were the rules. So, over here we can see there are 2 units of mounted Nizam Cadet cavalry units, and the Selhata Guard. Behind that we have 3 units of Nizam Cadet infantry, and 4 units of Nizam Cadet light infantry, General's bodyguard, and 2 more units of veteran Kemet Janissaries. And that is Mistrzu's forces for now. So as I said, those are 4 units over there. We can now see Sultan moving a lot of his forces over. He's bringing over 4 units of Nizam Cadet light infantry with a unit of rifles. And then I believe he's got a total of 8 Nizam Cadet infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, making a massive front line along here. Sultan has also brought 4 units of mounted Nizam cavalry on his right, and 2 more in the centre, along with a general's bodyguard. And that wraps up what the Ottomans have brought. So, facing Sultan, we have AIF Pericles. Facing Mistrzu is Roronoa, I believe. Pericles has left 3 units of cavalry over on this flank. Playing as France, he has the 7th Lancer Cavalry Unit, Polish Guard Lancers, and Empress Dragoons, which are probably one of my favourite looking units. It's the dark green jackets, damn it. Really enjoy those jackets. So, this is the rest of Pericles' force. Lots of infantry is brought, the strongest that the French can muster. Polish Legion, 18th Regiment the Brave, Old Guard in this collection. In fact, he's brought, I believe, 4 units of Polish Legion, which will make up his front line. Behind that, he's got Old Guard, Guard Seamen, I believe it's, 3 units of Old Guard, and then 1 unit of Guard Seamen and 2 Young Guard to make up his infantry. General Staff. Then over on the right, we can see that Roronoa has brought 5 units of cavalry. From the right, the Dutch Lancers, Empress Dragoons, Cuirassiers, and Polish Guard Lancers, which could be quite useful for punching into the Ottoman battle line. However, the French have allowed the Ottomans, AIF have allowed Sun Tzu and Virus to get up on this hill. I should say Sun Tzu and Virus. You may have seen the last battle replay I did was actually a clan battle between Sun Tzu clan and Virus clan, but today they have come together, fight as one. Although I believe Mistrzu did mention he hasn't given me too many details for each battle because I didn't want any kind of spoilers about, you know, what would happen potentially. But the kind of brief caveat that he gave with this was that actually neither himself or Sultan were on TeamSpeak for this, or voice comms or Discord or whatever they use. So I assume they were just typing in chat or on Steam or what have you. And they were up against AIF clan, which I believe potentially were as clan mates together. So we shall see whether those united can stand against those once divided. But anyway, let's go on to the rest of the units before we hit that play button and get started. So we have 4 units of Polish Legion with 1 unit, 18th Brave in the front line for Roronoa. And behind that we have 3 units of Old Guard and Guard Seamen with a General's Bodyguard behind. And that is all we need to cover at the moment. I'm just going to cover the formation before we hit play. So as we can see, Mistrzu has pushed up here. He's claimed the hill and he's pushed further forward so that he can try and draw the French in. And we're going to see that with the light infantry being pushed forward now here across the hill. The rest of his forces holding nicely on the right, and Sultan pulling his forces in nicely, just consolidating on this hill. That's what the French players have also done. They've shifted over to the left, so it only makes sense that Sun Tzu and Virus would come together, focusing on this hill. Although it looks like there's going to be a bit of a scrap with the cavalry. 4 mounted Nizam Kedit cavalry versus the 2 units of Lancers and Empress Dragoons over on the right. So let's hit play and see what occurs. But I think Mistrzu is going to try and lure Roronoa up the hill a little bit here. Yep, 7 kills on the Polish Legion there. Pulling back now with the light infantry. And they're going to go for another volley before that Polish Legion get on in, perhaps. Okay, yeah, they're pulling behind the infantry line for now. They've got the Kemet Janissaries ready, and in that kind of column formation, I've seen this done quite a few times, potentially some high impact charges into the French line infantry there. Could be rather devastating. Over on the right, we see 1 unit of cadet infantry being pulled on over to support cavalry, forming up, trying to flank around there, draw, divide and conquer. They've actually got 6 units of cavalry all over here. And I'm kind of surprised that these units of cavalry aren't being swept in over from the left. But we can hear the charges. And Pericles is just going to go for a charge against Sultan's forces here. He's not hanging about. In go the shots. I should say, if any of the players are watching this and I have happened to get the players' positions mixed up, then I do apologise. But I believe, told by Mistrzu, that the players at the top of the list when you load into a battle should start up on the right flank.
Our men are running, sir.
That the replay loads in. So it was Sultan over on this side. So that should be against Pericles over here. Well, I'm hoping. But anyway, we can see the cavalry battle has gone. At the moment, it looks pretty even. It looks like France might actually get a kill, but no, their Lancers have broken. Well, they had a good charge, which did a fair bit of damage. It's not going to hold on up long enough for them to deal. And it looks like we need to actually swing on over that left flank very quickly and just leave this cavalry fight where it looks like the mounted units are going to take the day and push back those Lancers. But we can see the Kemet Janissaries charging on through. That Polish Legion's going to get munched. So's that one, but the cavalry's being thrown on in. Dragoons charging on through to try and push back those melee infantry that have just shredded that Polish Legion at the front there. Being supported by missile fire, light infantry in skirmish mode, light infantry mode rather, in front, so they're kneeling. Cavalry though could potentially punch on through the light infantry, standing tall, bracing for charge. Squares being formed up behind to push them back. Kemet Janissaries kind of a bit of a throwaway at this point, just trying to get them through the lines and tear into more infantry and just do more damage with their high melee attack. But they have been intercepted by Dutch Guard Lancers, which did a fair bit of damage with that charge. That looked pretty nasty. And Kemet Janissaries broken over here. But they have shredded 2 units of Polish Legion quite badly. Unfortunately, they're not going to get to do much more. Those Dutch Guard Lancers finishing them off over here. Just swing on over, and the battle for the cavalry has completely gone. We can see Pericles' cavalry just disappeared under the fire of 6 units of mounted Nizam Cadet cavalry. And 1 unit of infantry that was just there for a bit of support, but not needed at that time. I think they got away pretty well. I think they only lost 1 unit of the cav there. Sultan got away quite nicely. 1 for 3 is a pretty good swap. And we can see Pericles now swinging his formation around to defend from that cavalry pressure over on the left. But now we have a massive cavalry charge. What is going on here? They've just pulled through a square. Roronoa just going balls deep here against Mistrzu. Mistrzu, though, has got squares, and this is going to be a death trap, especially if they're all standing still. If he can't get that cavalry moving, that is bye-bye to a lot of cavalry. Okay, Mistrzu has lost his unit of infantry there, but they have just slowed down that entire cavalry charge, and if they can't get the speed up now, they're just starting to do, they need to keep on going, because those squares are going to keep on firing. I don't know if they're trying to go for like a general snipe here with the cavalry, but there is just line after line that Mistrzu is just forming up. He's even got his own guard cavalry here going on in, keeping them busy, and that combined with the square formation is just going to wreck his cavalry. 4 units thrown away there on the left. Mistrzu able to deal with them quite nicely. Sure, he's only got the mounted units over here, but there'll be more than enough just to tie up enemy cavalry for his squares to deal with elsewhere. Meanwhile, the rest of the French line is pushing forward, but he has enough light infantry to screen his forces. He's controlling the hill, and meanwhile Sultan has moved around, swinging around to the left with his infantry, trying to separate the French players, the AIF players, for a little bit here. Pericles trying to draw Pericles out to the right, while Mistrzu holds that hill and absolutely destroys Roronoa's cavalry. Cavalry is holding. I was quite surprised the Empress Dragoon's holding for quite a while, but I guess it's because the cavalry got over here. I'm going to think, oh, the guard cavalry should be able to deal with them quite nicely. Volley after volley as the French continue to advance. I mean, it's up to Guard Seamen and Old Guard. They should pack quite a punch. But with all the light infantry screening quite a few of those shots, and while Mistrzu and Sultan don't have the highest quality units in the world compared to the French, they do have the numbers, and that insane cavalry advantage from France has just been thrown away to nothing. Mistrzu now dominates with cavalry, and he's looking like he's going to go for a charge. Is he going to try and force these guys into square so he can just fire at them? Have they realised what's coming? The Old Guard getting shot before taking a cavalry charge head on. That didn't look that impressive. They mainly just ran through. Coming back on in. Old Guard down to 94. Just being thrown on in there, allowing time to reform the battle line. Meanwhile, Sultan is just swinging on round over on the right now, and that's forced Pericles to spread out his infantry all the way up here, which isn't allowing him to support any of his troops in the centre. And we can see the other 2 units of Kemet Janissaries have charged on in. And they might even get a general kill. General staff's being thrown in because there's no cavalry to break these guys as they were broken the first time. The Polish Legion having to take the brunt of the Kemet Janissaries there. Into the gap, though, pours the mounted Nizam Cadet cavalry, charging on in. A shot into the back, potentially of their own units, but it will break the Polish Legion in a matter of time. Kemet Janissaries over here have broken Polish Legion, and they're sweeping across the line into 18th the Brave. We'll see how brave they are in a moment versus the Kemet Janissaries, and I don't think they're going to last very long. Just the light infantry and constant fire from all of Mistrzu's forces over here, just absolutely wrecking the Old Guard. France's elite being broken, torn asunder. All that light infantry now pushing through. There is a massive gap in the middle between the two players. Roronoa cut off from Pericles. Pericles isolated over on the right, and they're not even really firing too much. Oh, there we go. Roronoa is dead. They've managed to sweep on behind with 2 units of their cavalry, and in they go. Will they get the second general's bodyguard kill of the day? Will they make it 2 for 2? There he is, swinging. Nice block there, sir. Nice block, nice block. Don't think you're long for this world, mate. Will he be shot or will he be sliced? He is sliced. Oh no, he's still up. Oh, now he's down. There we go. Pericles is also down, and that is the end, surely, nearly. Roronoa's force. Actually, no, his Old Guard are holding. They will hold until the last, or until their morale drops. But with that, Roronoa is essentially dealt with, and that is just allowing a sweeping push of light infantry, Ottoman troops through the centre now. They have been absolutely broken. And Pericles, now realising his ally, clanmate, is long dead with his general as well. What can he do? He can't chase the cavalry. They'll just keep on pulling back. He can try and advance towards the infantry of Sultan. Mistrzu, though, just turning in on the last of Roronoa's forces. In they go with the Kemet Janissaries. Old Guard just one last time charging on in. Glory and honour for the French Empire. But unfortunately, while the Kemet Janissaries are probably going to break, they're going to take a lot of Old Guard down with them, and there are volley fires and light infantry shot going all over the place. Meanwhile, just that wave of light infantry now in the centre, just pushing up, going to absolutely smash the Polish Legion and the brave units that are formed up over on the left. They're just trying to screen a few of their troops so they can just try and punch into the line infantry here. But I think it's all little... it's a little too late, is what I'm trying to say. It's the phrase I'm trying to think of. Too little, too late. Oh God, just being overrun. They're doing a Roronoa now. They're just pulling on through. Okay, that was not so good. Absolutely wrecked by the power of the square. Absolutely wrecked. It's something actually quite satisfying about seeing a cavalry unit rearing up and getting dominated by a square in Napoleon Total War. They didn't get it in Empire, but they did fix it for Napoleon. That has dealt with the majority of that cavalry over from the left. Old Guard should be able to get a couple of kills now. But if Pericles isn't paying attention, which he might be caught out here with the Young Guard, no, he's able to form square, and that is going to rear them up. But it is noticed, and they do pull back. They go into another unit, the Young Guard, that hasn't formed square yet. But no, they're pulling back. The charge was disrupted, being pulled back. Light infantry being moved on over. Mistrzu moving off the hill now. Sweeping on over to help take out the last of Pericles' force. To try and just break the last of them. I mean, if Pericles moves quickly, he might be able to break Sultan's forces over on the right. I mean, there is a small hill where they could make a last stand. I have seen it happen in multiplayer battles. In fact, I've been in that situation myself. The main battle for the hill has been lost. Enemy troops pulling back, form upon this hill, or they place some cannon up here and try and withdraw across the battlefield. See, an Inspire popped up there. Sultan, though, could be in trouble if this Old Guard gets some good volleys off. Old Guard, 3 units for Old Guard and Young Guard, all firing over on this left side now. Or right side, depending on your perspective. Mistrzu pulling the rest of his forces over. He's still got his general back there. It's kept him quite safe throughout the whole battle. Last of his guard and infantry just pushing forward, but mainly it's the light infantry going forward now to harass and skirmish with the last of Pericles' force. Young Guard pulling back here. Old Guard jumping on the chance just to break a few units of Sultan here. It's going to be 3 units of infantry broken. If they perhaps get top to his general, they might be able to break him. I mean, I think it's pretty impossible odds with all that light infantry and no cavalry to break them. But he could potentially weaken one of the players quite significantly. Desperately trying to screen his troops and withdraw at the same time. Old Guard, I believe... Oh, no, look, they were forming square there, but they're pulling back. Continuing to do so. Oh, that cavalry charge. They're going to have to be careful.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest awhile.
Cavalry could be in trouble right now. Old Guard forming up square, although they are now going to be a wonderfully juicy target for all of that light infantry that is continuing to sweep on over. At this point, it's very much safe to say the battle has quite literally been swung with that light infantry for Sun Tzu and Virus, for Sultan and Mistrzu. Even the advisor believes so now, and while that unit of mounted Nizam Kerit are going to break, so are the Young Guard. Old Guard fleeing across the battlefield. 3 units of line infantry left, and all 3 Old Guard. Veterans of the Empire are the last to make their final stand against the might of the Ottoman Empire, pressing across the Pyramid Plains. Will they stand? Quote Sharp, "No, you can fire 3 rounds a minute. Well, what I want to know is, can you stand?" Will the Old Guard stand, or will they flee? I highly expect them to stand for a bit longer. Although I'm not quite sure they've got the... They might just have a line of sight there. Might just have a line of sight. Those damn dunes. Sand dunes, sir. They've got the sand dunes. Rest of the infantry, just what's this? Pew, pew. Like the little V going on in here. Just add a little bit more here. We'd have a W. I guess that's the staggered line. It's working. It's aiming to try and fire on those guys over there, but they won't have a clear line of fire on that unit. You can see most of those shots even missed the Old Guard over here. They've got to wait for them to push. No, don't push forward. You're going to get shot at. Unless you're going in for one glorious final charge, in which case, well, good luck. Old Guard going to take their last few shots. Cavalry charging on through one final time. Form square once more in the dunes. Cavalry being pulled away though, but that has just allowed them to be opened up to a massive volley of fire, and that is it. Sun Tzu Virus victorious versus AIF. There we go. So we can see the stats there. Mistrzu with 1,764, Sultan with 1,869 deployed. Mistrzu getting a few more kills, 1,123 to Sultan's 1,065. Mistrzu drawing all those forces into the hill, using those light infantry and obviously those Kemet Janissaries to deal rather massive blow to the enemy forces. As we can see, the French were outnumbered, good 500, 400 or so with each player. They went for quality over quantity, and this day it did not pay off for them. Unit statistics, let's just see who got the most kills. Light infantry, that is no surprise. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this replay, guys, on the Pyramids map for Napoleon Total War. Thanks to Sun Tzu Mistrzu for sending this on in, along with numerous other battle replays I'll be getting through over the coming weeks. What I'll try and do is alternate, so like a Napoleon replay and either a Medieval 2 or a Warhammer or an Attila or a Rome 2, whatever you guys have sent in, or even a kind of just a scenario battle that I've done with other YouTubers or what have you. They'll still be coming thick and fast as well. But yes, if you've got an epic battle you want to share, the link is in the description, so you know what to do. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Take pride and join the Legion. Check out my affiliates and sponsors, XMG, Greenman Gaming, and Overclockers UK. Until next time, ciao for now.